Hey, welcome back, guys. Snowfall's Iliad conclusion and the seventh installment directly following that saw the emergence of a new big bad sprouted from familiar territory. The rise of Kane poses a direct threat to all that Franklin has built thus far, and it's arguably a monster of his own creation, something I'll dissect in a later video. But how will things play out with just 3 episodes remaining? It's certainly not looking good for our boy. I'm here to break it all down in typical Top 10 WTF fashion. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things Snowfall. Here we go. WTF moment number 10, a leg up. Franklin and Oso find themselves in the craziest of predicaments, awakening to a hungry tiger and a crazier old man threatening to unleash the beast upon them. In the midst of his hazardous behavior, Oso reverts to a wrestling technique to compromise the old man's balance and his lower limbs as fate would have it. The tiger immediately pounces on his captor, maxing his legs and everything else, while Franklin and Oso grab the keys to their freedom. WTF moment number 9, kidnapped. Finally back on the streets of South LA, Franklin and Oso move carefully, evading onlookers and eventually approaching a car to make their next move. However, as that great comedian sitting on high would have it, the car is inhabited by the same essays they fled before. The Spanish crew approach the duo at gunpoint and take them into a more familiar captivity, minus the zoo animals, demanding access to their hidden fortune. WTF moment number 8, tiger food. While under essay provision, Franklin and Oso are semi-tortured into revealing the true whereabouts of their concealed stash. The two hold up, eventually agreeing to unearth their cache in exchange for their lives and freedom. The essays then take Franklin to the stash spot and are taken aback by their gruesome findings. Threatening to murder Franklin for the last time, the criminals are viciously attacked by the lingering tiger fresh off his geriatric meal, with the driver being left for dead in the trunk and the crew overseeing Oso being discarded by Franklin and his reinforcements. WTF moment number 7, Squabble 101. Louis and Jerome hit the streets to gather intel regarding the multiple hits against their family. They encounter 2 underlings who are more concerned about their drop than actually dropping any real information. Already on edge and insulted by the flunkey's tone, Jerome savagely beats him to a pulp, while Louis holds his partner at bay with the pistol. After thoroughly beating the unfortunate soul, breaking 2 metacarpals in the process, Big Unc advises the luckier of the two to teach his man the art of squabbling before speaking. WTF moment number 6, enter Kane. Black Diamond and Dallas return to the crew with the name behind the various hits, a name all too familiar to Franklin and Lee, Kane. The two approach the recently liberated OG and engage in an intense exchange regarding family, honor, and consequences. The unrelenting Kane promises a more focused retaliation for the man responsible for his broken family and maintains his fearless position as a response to Franklin's failed threats. WTF moment number 5, Teddy's rules. Teddy finally meets with Franklin post-attack and questions how the onslaught even occurred. He stresses his lack of trust in Saint and fervently dictates how the drops and Franklin's real estate endeavors will run going forward. He then orders Franklin to refrain from making any more high-profile land purchases, fueling further discontent between them. WTF moment number 4, peace treaty. Leon meets with Kane with Saint's blessing and attempts to talk him off the war-driven cliff. He reveals the true context for Kevin's death and offers him a major incentive, a cut of their underworld empire. This would simultaneously allow Kane to bridge the gap of his broken family financially, while repairing the damage created by a series of unfortunate events between him, Lee, and Franklin. WTF moment number 3, Buckley For Hire. Louis, dead set on taking matters into her own hands, enlists Buckley for a play against Kane. She provides his name and address, as well as hefty compensation for the calculated hit. Buckley is initially apprehensive to the treacherous endeavor, but capitulates upon agreeing on a reason, 150,000 reasons to be exact. WTF moment number 2, I am the game. In Jerome's pursuit of Peaches at the local Veterans Hospital, he runs into a former ally who agrees to take him to the MIA soldier. Upon arriving, Unc smells the setup and subsequently ups the banger on the drug-induced collective. We're all surprised to then discover that Peaches was in fact a junkie, looking to ease his pain by way of the needle, something that brings tears to Jerome's eyes upon witnessing it firsthand. They also mention his plans to run to Thailand once the unnamed job was pulled off, a reveal that further crushes Unc's spirit. And WTF moment number 1, at Chaos's end. Teddy, seemingly at the end of his rope with his once golden and reliable goose, plots to keep tabs on him at all costs, including his telephone, car, and other relevant spaces. He then meets with an unnamed deep cover agent for unknown, insidious purposes. This could be for the removal of Franklin's mother, Franklin himself, or someone else jeopardizing the paranoid CIA agent. I'll leave the speculation to y'all. Some lingering thoughts before we end today's video. As it turns out, Peaches was indeed the inside man who laid the groundwork for those unfortunate hits. Where do you think the rogue veteran is at? And why would he betray the only ones who ever cared for him in this game? I guess the answers to those questions remain to be seen. What we can properly infer is that if he is sick, he likely contracted his illness from sharing needles while strung out. And under such an influence, he wasn't thinking clearly when approached by Kane, assuming that's how it all went down. Also, Louis did remind us that Peaches witnessed the murder of Rob by Franklin, and he murdered him in fact for being a junkie. Now that we know Peaches' own status as a junkie himself, that could have been just the ingredient he needed to turn on his family. Oso's beginning to see Franklin's loyalty through Teddy's lack of it by fleeing the scene of the hit, while Franklin essentially did the opposite, ultimately saving Oso's life. If Oso has the chance, I believe he'll reveal Teddy's plots against him, especially if they begin to jeopardize his well-being. While we're on Oso, he inadvertently made Teddy aware of Sissy's return prior to their meeting with Franklin. I wonder if Havmeyer's mysterious contact he met up with towards the episode's end is being hired to neutralize Sissy. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Sissy's hand might be forced in the surveilling of her son, but do you think she went through with planning that bug? It most certainly seemed as much, with Teddy already plotting to do the same, and their interests easily at odds. It might serve her secret coup against Franklin's connect, while simultaneously saving his life by season's end. By including Kane in the powder business fresh from prison, I wonder if Louis will opt for a drug bust as opposed to murder. Buckley emphasized that there will be no return from death's door, but if it goes another way, the rage-filled offender would literally be caught with his hands in the cookie jar, something that just might play out better for Buckley in the grand scheme of things. And lastly, Jerome's return to his original home was symbolic of his return to his roots, as he stressed to Louis prior to proposing to her. He had gotten so high on the hog, so to speak, that he lost perspective of those closest to him, which is how Peaches was able to betray them in the first place. Additionally, Unc's experience in the crack house, along with the prior lyrics to that rap song condemning his criminal endeavors, left an indelible impression upon him, leading him back to that which he should have never left. And that'll do it for this one. What were your thoughts on Snowfall's most recent drama? Be sure to drop me your opinions in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are fans of Snowfall, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.